Hey guys, welcome to the Made in Sims podcast. We just finished up a conversation with Sarah and Caleb Lopes and talked about their most recent business dealing with finances. They talked about how they didn't learn about finances in school, but they're getting the opportunity to teach people now. I learned a lot of wisdom dropped. Think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's check out the podcast.
Summer's here, and there's nothing more satisfying than spending some time by the pool or in the yard with family and friends. Let just-in-time pressure wash help keep your property looking its best. Whether you need your house soft washed instead of pressure washed, your driveway, sidewalk, or pool pad cleaned, or your roof washed and your gutters cleaned, Just-in-Time can handle it all from residential to commercial work. So don't spend another day looking at stained concrete or a dirty house. Give Just-in-Time Pressure Wash a call today at 251-554-7211 and make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Made in Sims podcast.
All right, it's great to have you guys on the podcast today here with Caleb and Sarah. Sarah, if you will, go ahead and start off and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a mom of three and obviously a wife to Caleb. And I'm sure Caleb's going to jump into a little bit about our story, kind of what we've done for the past really 6-7 years now. But we just transitioned home about 2 years ago, and we really wanted to just plant our flag here and kind of, really make a difference in our community. And so with that, we knew we wanted to be plugged into ministry, and we are, and we've done that, but we knew we wanted to bring a lot of value to our community. And so that's kind of what brought us into the financial industry, really wanting to create financial literacy. We want to make sure that our community is being taught all the right things when it comes to the rules of money and how to, really get on the right foot, how to manage it, how to budget, right? All of those things. And so a little bit about, me is I'm in the financial industry. My husband's in the business with me, and we truly do just want to make a difference in our community with leading with the financial literacy, but also being able to tangibly help people in any way with their money. So
awesome. Cool. Caleb, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. And so what's cool about this is really, this is to tell them. I've obviously had the ability to know you guys for a long time. Have a lot of respect for you guys, honor what you guys do, know you love the Lord. So just tell them a little bit about you.
Yeah, man. Born and raised in Mobile, which I actually wasn't born here, but I've lived here my whole life. Everyone knows me as the baseball guy, probably. Right. I played professional baseball for a while with the St. Louis Cardinals, but a lot of people don't know me outside of that. Right. I obviously faith is big to me. God is my number one, my family. But I also just love helping people. Yeah. I think you've known me for a while that I want to be plugged in. I want to see the generations before me, after me. I want to see them succeed. I want to see them win. I like to compete. I like to win, but I love seeing others win and be successful in life.
I got you.
And so that's really what led us back home. I know we're in Sims right now, but just this whole community, the whole city, the whole county, really just being able to be back and plugged in with the people of our city. Yeah. And just teaching things that weren't taught to us. Right. Whenever I went in and, got drafted and played, like we were young with a small family, and we just didn't know anything. Right. And so we really learned a lot just over personal development and just really researching, but there's so many people who don't know just basic things that can help them in the long run. Right. And so that's kind of where we're at now, where we youth pastored for a while. We've been in ministry. My parents, our families, we've all been in the community for a while. Right. And so we were just like, how can we tangibly help people that, not just on the spiritual side, that's obviously number one, but how can we tangibly, physically help people, get a step ahead in their life and have their family's future taken care of, and making sure they just know the right things to be set up for success. Right.
So if you will, let's jump in and let's talk a little bit about your company. Who do you work for? What do you do? And specifically, what do you help people do financially?
Yeah. So people ask me that all the time. Like, Caleb, what are you doing now? I know you're not playing baseball. Like, what are you doing? The cool thing is we don't actually work for a specific company. We are business owners in the financial industry, which is very, very unique, because there's a lot of companies that you are captive to in the industry.
Correct.
So our situation is a little bit unique where we work for our clients.
Okay.
So we don't technically work for a company. Our team name, just like real estate, if you were to kind of Century 21, Keller Williams,
right.
Kind of the same thing in the financial industry. We have our own agency.
Okay.
So we're business owners in the financial industry. And so we're able to really work for our clients and not be captive to a specific company and try to push that product or push whatever the company's pushing at people. But we can really shop out exactly what people need, help them, and recommend things to them that will set them up for the future rather than pushing a specific product or company. And what makes us unique,
right.
For us to be able to work for our clients and work for ourselves in business together. So it's really, really amazing.
No, that's cool. What's the name of y'all's company?
So our company is actually Kingdom Leadership Development. So that's our team name. That's who our agency, our agents, that's who they work under.
Okay.
But we're kind of like a brokerage model. So kind of like State Farm. If you were to go broker and franchise a State Farm, it's usually State Farm in that person's name, broker's name. For us, we kind of get to do a little bit things differently. So our brokerage that we're franchising is called Pinnacle Elite.
Okay.
But we get to actually name it our team name. And so for us, it's Kingdom Leadership Development. And the reason why is because we're kingdom-minded people. It's all about what we want to do is for the kingdom.
Right.
And so that's where we got the kingdom. But leadership development is we're not just in the business of helping people with their finances, but I'm in the business of training up new agents, giving them a life they never thought they could have, and really pouring into people and doing that leadership development.
Awesome. If y'all will take a little bit of time and tell me why you were actually drawn to finances, to helping people with their financials.
Yeah, man, it's funny. I mean, when I was playing ball, I had, some people reach out to me, hey, put your money here, do this and that. But I thought it was very, why reach out to me? What about the 95% of other people that need help, And, most financial advisors have respect for everyone in the industry. But usually they reach out to the people of the top 5%, which is a smart business move, right? But at the same time, our heart is for no family left behind. That's our mission statement. 95% of America are just in over their heads in debt. The number one cause of divorce, depression, anxiety, mental health, all these different things that go into it is financial stress and burden.
Okay.
And that's kind of what led us to be on this journey to really show and educate and teach people what their options are. Because we were very uneducated when we were young. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate who's listening, but it stems from a lot of just stress due to your financial situation. So 95% of people are struggling and they don't know where they're losing. I mean, inflation's at an all-time high. They're losing money in their stock market accounts and 401ks and all these different things, and just showing them that we have solutions for that. We can protect their money, they can grow it, and then they can leave a legacy and build off of that so that their generations can leave an inheritance. And the reason we name Kingdom Leadership Development, the two things that is talked about the most in the Bible is the kingdom of God and finance.
That's correct.
And so that's literally our mission. Just having wisdom, obviously it's not all about money. Obviously the love of money is the root of all evil, not money. Money's not evil. We need money.
That's right.
But I thought it was very biased whenever a lot of agents reach out to me because I had money, because I was a professional player. But what if I wasn't a professional player?
Right.
Everyone is not a professional player or a celebrity or have a lot of money. Who's helping them? And so that's kind of where we come in. Now, I'm not going to turn you away. If you're a billionaire, hey, come on, talk to me, right? But
slide in my DM.
Yeah, come on, billionaires. Where you at? Yeah. Our highest net worth client's a billionaire, and our lowest net worth client, single mom with 3 kids on welfare. So it doesn't matter who you are. We just want to help you if you're open to it.
Yeah.
And really just sharing our story and how we didn't know a lot, and we want to pay that forward with what we've learned. So that's our mission of No Family Left Behind, and it's really, really amazing how we've been able to just impact people and just really, talk about the things nobody wants to talk about. It's kind of a sticky conversation, right?
Yeah,
it's awkward and uncomfortable, but we like to think of ourselves kind of like, the doctor, where when you go to the doctor's office, you break your arm, like you got to put your arm on the x-ray, move it around. It hurts, but like, that's kind of what we do.
You got to see what's going on.
You got to see what's going on so we can fix the problem. Yeah. And so that's kind of where we're at, where, hey, you can trust with everything that we have is credible, and everything that we do is in the best interest of our people that we help. We're not trying to push them anything. I'm not a salesman. We're not trying to, push them any type of way. We just give them the education, give them the whole scope, and then they can make the best informed decision for their family. And so
that's cool.
It's really, really amazing, the platform we have.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So one thing that we talked about before we started rolling was the fact of we go to school our entire life. And the one thing you get out of college, or you get out of high school, and a lot of people go to college, they get out of college, they're so far in debt due to student loans, different stuff. And then you got to figure out how to balance a checkbook.
Right.
Like, it's amazing how important finances is, and it's not something that we're being taught in school.
Absolutely.
So who is your ideal client? Is there an ideal client that y'all look for? Is there somebody that that would be perfect for your business?
Really, we like middle America. The middle class is who we really love to help because they're so just kind of in the in-between, right? Yeah. And so they're not getting any help, but yet they don't make enough money to live a life that they want to live. And so middle America is typically who we work with for the most part. And the reason why is because you're talking about those student debts, right? Most people go to college, then they're coming out with debt and over their head. And so that's kind of what we do is we work in 6 different areas. So we're not just investors. We help people budget, manage their money. That's what we want to create more cash flow, shop out car insurance even. We help with debt management. So we're helping with student loans. We're helping you get out of debt as soon as possible. We also want to be building that emergency fund to have that, cushion. So we don't want to continue that cycle of debt. Right. And then we also help with any type of protection on your life, which is our life insurance piece, making sure that people know their life insurance needs and they know the difference between life insurance and death insurance. Okay. We also help people build wealth. That's usually our favorite part, right? Where we really get to dream with our clients. We get to ask them questions like, what age do you want to retire? And what do you want out of retirement? And really get them exactly to where they need to be at that time of retirement and be able to meet all their goals and dreams. And then also preserving it, making sure we have wills and trust in place because let's be honest, we don't want to leave any money to the state or the government and in their hands. And we want to create that legacy for our families. So we want to make sure it's protected on that part as well. So like Kayla was saying, we work with anyone, lowest net worth client and highest net worth client. We welcome them all into our doors because all of our services are actually complimentary. And so we don't just kick you out of the door if you can't pay us because we're not looking to be paid by them anyways. The way we work is we're paid based off of how we help that family. No,
that's cool. That's awesome. So one thing when I started this podcast, a lot of people ask when we get done, so why exactly do you do this? Is it a hobby? Well, one, it's a networking thing. It's an opportunity for us to sit down and have a conversation. But where it adds value to you by being on the podcast is, I said a long time ago, people don't do business with business. People do business with people. Right. So one of the questions that I have for you guys is, what do you guys do for fun? Like, I want the people, when you leave, for people to know exactly who you are and what you do to enjoy life.
Yeah, man, we have fun. We actually just got back from Vegas. We got back from Nashville. We love to travel with our position and our business. Like, it allows us for total time independence. Okay. And, America, that's the dream. Like, you want to have complete total time independence and also money independence as well and financial freedom. But with our position, like, I have clients in all 50 states. Like, I can work in all 50 states, Canada, Puerto Rico. So it's not just for Mobile. So there might be people listening that have friends in other places that need some advice or need some guidance. So we're not like tied down to just here, which is really, really cool. So I'm able to travel. We're able to, work from our laptop. So literally we can go down to Puerto Rico for a week and still, have that freedom to be able to do that. So being able to show our agents on our team as well, like, to have that fun, because we try to live by the 5 F's: faith number 1, family number 2, finance number 3, fitness number 4, and then fun number 5. There you go. And so it doesn't matter technically what order that is, obviously faith being number 1, but that fun aspect, we love to travel. We go everywhere with our family. we like to chill too. I mean, obviously just hanging out at the house and grilling out and being involved. I like to go watch the fights at B-Dubs on Saturday nights.
Okay.
Sarah, she likes to go, hang out with her friends and, just do different things. But really just, living life. I mean, living life, meeting new people. And I love that part of our job too, is that we get to meet so many cool people. And we want to meet more, we want to just build relationships. Like we're not, like you said, we're not building a business, like we're building people. And that's part of our leadership development is like we're pouring into people, we're investing in people. We're not necessarily investing in the market or investing in these things, but like we're investing in people.
Right.
And so that's the biggest return in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we have fun doing it.
How long have you guys been in business?
So I am actually been here a little under 2 years now.
Okay.
So Caleb actually joined me about a year ago. And when we locked arms and then he was like, hey, I actually want to be in business with you. And I said, let's go. And so now we just made it a family business and it's really taken off. And now we're able to go, do double the work and meet double the people. And so that's, him coming into business with me was really a game changer for us to really truly get in the community.
Oh, that's cool. So a lot of times we talk about the highlights of business. What's been some of the struggles that you guys have jumped over in the process of starting this thing up?
Oh man, the struggles, the beginning of any business, I think is hard. Just learning everything, taking it all in. I was a business owner, right? I ran a very successful photography business, but I quickly realized I was self-employed business owner, right? I was a small business owner.
Right.
And so being self-employed and not necessarily having employees, it's completely different than running an agency. And so that's been my biggest, struggle is learning how to be a business owner. So, all day I could go get success for myself, but now I'm in the business of getting success for others. Right. And so navigating that, knowing how to balance that, and also kind of knowing when to put my phone to the side and saying, hey, it's family time. Right? Yeah. Being able to spin that plate. And so for me, I think that's been my biggest struggle. And just really kind of, your emotions can get tied into things.
Right.
Because I truly do want to see people's lives changed for the better.
Right.
And so when you kind of have those people that give you the pushback, or the people that, you're trying to teach, but they're not wanting to learn, just kind of saying, they're going to come back, or, hey, somebody else is going to teach them, and be able to like emotionally not be tied to that. Yeah.
I can imagine that. What about you, Caleb?
I would say probably like the rebranding of myself, maybe.
Okay.
That's been a struggle. Identity is huge, obviously, in everyone's life. Like, what is your identity? What's your purpose? Like, why are you here? And that's kind of been a struggle for me, trying to rebrand my journey and rebrand my path. Most people know me as the baseball guy once again, and really just rebranding that, saying I'm kind of more than just a baseball guy. Like,
just figuring out what life looks like after baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so just being able to like show that I'm more than just baseball. Our family's more than that. We do want to be in relationship with people. We do care about people, but really just, you can't help someone who's not open to being helped.
Right.
I think that's been a big struggle, is people generally are skeptical when it comes to money.
Okay.
And people call it scam, and that's just an acronym, in my opinion, for still confused about money.
Okay. Okay.
And so that's that's kind of where we run into, like, everyone's skeptical, or like, what are you doing? This is too good to be true. But people are just still confused about money, and we really want to teach them. Usually their level of, and I'll just speak for myself, my level of education kind of dictated my level of my financial state.
Okay.
And that's what we've noticed is, like, people are uneducated, and that's what we lead with free complimentary education. But so many people aren't even open to that. They're not even open to like just seeing what's out there, or maybe already have a guy, right? That's another struggle. Already have a guy.
Everybody already has
someone.
Right.
But once again, maybe they've only talked to one side of the industry.
That's right.
Or one specific account, or one specific type of, because there's so much to know. We don't know it all, obviously, but we do know a lot, and we're always staying up to date. But that's probably one of my biggest struggles, rebranding, but also just having people open just to a conversation.
Yeah. I'm assuming there's a lot of trust that has to be involved for somebody to. So I take myself and I say, okay, so if I'm struggling with finances, or maybe I'm not, and I just want to up my game, up my level, go to that next level. But especially if I'm struggling, one thing that everybody shows on social media is the highlight reel, and I know you and you know me, and you don't know me as struggling. You just know what I allow you to see. And now I've got to come in and show you I'm broke as a joke. Like, I don't have a clue of what I'm doing.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, that vulnerability, like laying down that pride in order to be able to get to a level of being able to reach for help. I think that would be huge.
Yeah.
Is that something that y'all see a lot?
Yeah. I mean, being vulnerable always leads to growth and change.
Okay.
Every time.
Yeah.
When you're vulnerable and you lay it all out there, obviously you got to have that sense of trust. And, that's one of the things that we try to build really good rapport and let them know that, like, hey, we're not trying to put you into anything that we're not doing.
Yeah.
We would never tell someone to do something that we're not currently doing. And so just being able to show them their options and educating them.
Okay.
And so being vulnerable though is huge, just vulnerability always leads to growth and change. And so many people are either comfortable where they're at or they don't know why they're not where they want to be.
Yeah.
And so just being able to kind of mediate that for them and figure out, hey, where are you trying to go?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to do? Are you open to at least seeing how we can help you get there?
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's really the vulnerable part of just kind of breaking down some walls, breaking through the barriers, kind of like that doctor's office where you're having to move some things around. Yeah. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, but knowing that it's all for the better in the long run. Yeah.
If you could go back and talk to yourself when you were 18 years old, what advice would you give yourself? Knowing what you know today.
Take that one over.
Yeah. Oh, man. One, the earlier you invest, the less you have to ever invest.
Okay.
Like, compounding interest is a real factor.
Okay.
And so our parents, they did tell us, we did listen to a degree. But having that financial education as far as just knowing, one, be smart with your money. Even if you have a lot of money, living like you don't have a lot of money is very important, because saving, we have a saying here, you save half and you spend half.
Okay.
So make sure you save that half first. So giving your money really a place to go. And that's exactly what we do for people.
Yeah.
So many people that come into our office, they're like, I have no cash flow. And then I look at their, breakdown and I'm like, it's showing me you have X, Y, and Z in cash flow. That's pretty good cash flow. And I'm like, do you feel that way? And they're like, at the end of the month, I have nothing. But it's because they're not giving their money a place to go. And so that's exactly what we do, is we just say, hey, this amount needs to go to an emergency fund, right? We need to not be naive thinking that we're
everything's
going to
be perfect.
Right.
The AC is going to go out.
Right.
The tire is going to blow at the worst time.
And so we just need to have that cushion, and then obviously investing the rest of that, because the cool thing is that money is always going to come back. And we show people not only how, I think a lot of people just think that if they invest their money, it's locked up until they're 59 and a half. But there's so many different strategies out there where it's like a supercharged savings. Let's invest it, and you can actually touch it in the next couple of years.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to give people a place for their money to go. So at the end of the month, they're not just blowing it on, toys at the Dollar General, right? For their kids, or subscriptions or whatever it is.
Yeah. Subscriptions.
And I wish we would have known this at age 18, because we met in college. And so if we would have known the things we know now early on, there's no telling where we would be or what we could accomplish.
Yeah.
But so the earlier you know it, the better, because, we're not taught it. I'll ask you a question, like on a scale of 1 to 10, just growing up in school, like 10 being you could teach a class on finance and 1 being like, I kind of know a little bit. Where do you find yourself on that scale?
I probably would honestly say that I would find myself while I was in school.
Yeah, through high school.
Yeah, maybe even after school, maybe like a 3. So here's the deal.
I was a negative 3.
I was born with a really strong work ethic. I was cutting grass at 7. I was doing the stuff. Now, one thing that I thought about while we were talking is the fact of I was the only guy that had a job in 9th grade when everybody else was just living off mom and daddy's money. Mm-hmm. So I was like, hey guys, you want to go to Waffle House? And everybody was like, man, I'd love to, man, but I don't have any money. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I got y'all, man. Yeah. And I was the guy that was paying for 8 people to eat Waffle House. But now at the end of it, or a girl or whatever, and then it was like, man, I'm freaking broke. Y'all just go back and do y'all's thing, and I'm gonna go back to work. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's something that, so I would say a 3. I was good at making the money. The problem that I had was like keeping the money. Exactly. And I think a lot of people's like, one thing that I've realized about this whole thing. So I've been in business now, I don't even know how long. I've been doing this thing for a minute.
Don't say your age.
Man, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it on here. The gray up in here is showing a little bit. But one thing I realized, it doesn't matter how much you make. If you can't keep any of it, it's literally it's coming in, it's going out. It's coming in, it's going out. If you can't put any of it away for the future. So here's my thing, and I don't know how this lines up with y'all's financial program and plan. One thing I see is I've got some family members that tried to put all their money away for the future, and they're like, we just got to make it to 62. We just got to make it to whenever. And then their body falls apart beforehand. Like, there's got to be a good balance somewhere between like, I'm going to live today, but I'm not going to live like a millionaire today. Right. I'm going to save a little bit for the future so that my kids don't have to take care of me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, our biggest competition is Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, that's right.
We love Dave Ramsey. I love a lot of things that he teaches, but he does teach people to just live off of ramen noodles. Yeah. And that's just
ain't nobody trying to eat that garbage, man. This podcast has not been sponsored by ramen noodles. Like, I ate some ramen noodle sandwiches as a kid, like growing up. Not that we were like completely poor, but like them noodles on a sandwich, it gave me high blood pressure. Rough. Don't eat that, man. Like, it's like a Wish sandwich. It was like chicken flavored. Like it was the opposite of Chick-fil-A. It was not a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, and I think living below your means is different than like, living a bad life. Yeah. You can still live below your means and still have a nice life. Yeah. But not to the point of like, you're only able to spend $10 on a month on something you like or something, there's a balance of being able to save and invest, and for your kids. I mean, you want your kids to live an amazing life. Yeah. But you also want to, what we usually say is pay yourself first. Right. Pay yourself first, and then everything overflow of that, use that for now. That's right. If you don't pay yourself first, then you're going to be paying somebody else. Right. And so that's good. That's kind of our rules, like pay yourself first, store it up, invest it, save it, and then everything above and beyond that, you'll have to be able to have fun now.
I like that. I'm going to give some financial wisdom. Y'all ready?
Come on.
Nobody cares what kind of car you drive.
No.
They don't.
The nicer the car, the more they hate you. I'm just going to be honest.
I believe it.
Bro, like, hey, you just create
a dump truck, right? Like,
yeah, just drive a garbage truck around, man. Like, you got to be picking it up. Like, the whole thing is, one thing that I've seen is the higher that you try to, like, climb in status by things, right, the more people hate you. Like, so the whole thing is, a lot of people's like, man, if I get this new truck, people's going to think I'm cool. Nobody thinks you're cool. They're talking about you when you leave. You know what I mean? Like, if you're getting it for you and that's something that you work for, be proud of what you have, but nobody cares. Right. Nobody cares. Like, and the thing is, like, if I could go back and tell myself anything at 17, by the age of 22, I had like 6 new vehicles. Nobody cares. Right. Nobody's friends with me because they're like, oh, Kenneth's that guy that's got that cool stuff. I've created more haters by doing that. You know what I mean? Put some of that money away, save a little bit of it. Anyways, I'm no Dave Ramsey. He would be disappointed in a lot of the decisions that I've made whenever I finance garbage trucks and I sign my name to $400 and something thousand. And it's like, for the love of Jesus, Dave is coming out with a bat. But it's like, that is it. I've reached a place in my life where I realize that the people that are inside your circle are inside your circle for a reason. You're not going to buy them, because once you run out of money, they're all going to leave anyways. So you don't need those people. Put that money in the bank, invest, and I'll leave the rest of the financial stuff up to you. If people want to reach out to you for your business, for your services, like, what I want from this podcast is just taste and see. If it's bad, throw it out. Right. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Right. But taste and see. Yeah, see if it's good. How do people get in contact with you guys?
Yeah, so you could either text us, call us. Our lines stay pretty open. I think it's going to be on the screen and you guys are going to see it, but my number is 251-442-5339. Caleb's is 251-753-7295. And then my email, my personal business one, is sarah@ladderstrategist.com. Don't worry about the spelling. It'll be on the screen. And same for Caleb's. This is at Caleb at ladderstrategist.com. You can also book us on our website at ladderstrategist.com. You literally just go to booking. Both of our names are on there. Our calendars are linked. Just book us. We'd be happy to sit down with them and just have a complimentary financial strategy.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys being on the podcast. Anything y'all want to say before we close this thing up?
Man, I appreciate the opportunity. We just want to serve. We want to be able to help people. And anything, you might already have someone, but we just want to be a second pair of eyes. Never want to take anything away. We always want to give. Maybe you don't know all the options that are out there, and we want to be able to give you the full scope. So yeah, taste and see. I love that.
Taste and see. See if it's good.
I saw it. It looks good. You need to see it.
Awesome.
Literally, that's what we want people to say. I saw it. It looks good. Somebody else needs to see it. Be educated. But yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate both of you guys individually and personally. I appreciate your family. And appreciate you guys being on the podcast. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching the Made in Sims podcast. If you will, like, subscribe, share, and taste and see that it's good. Thanks for watching. That's it.
Awesome.
That was awesome,
There
man.
you go.